I started meditating about 30 years ago. I learned my first meditation techniques from my first martial arts teacher. So the single-pointed mind meditation technique is a very powerful concentration technique for meditation. And it involves concentrating on particular chakras. And the chakras are energy centers in our energy body. Not only do you develop concentration and the ability to hold your mind still, once you become adept at this particular meditation technique on the chakras, you can raise the Kundalini energy.
Alright, what's up my friends? Greetings, greetings, greetings. I hope you're doing well out there. You know, you're about to sit down to meditate. What are the couple things we like to do before we meditate? We like to chant the mantra Om. A mantra is a very good way to clear the mind of extraneous thought, to focus the mind, and to get in the meditative mood. Mantra translates into roughly mind protector. A mantra is a spoken, audible, or it can be spoken internally without it being audible, way to protect the mind. It actually means mind protector. So here's a great little mindfulness tip. Let's say you're out in the world and you want to prevent any type of environmental influence from creeping into the mind. Because as we know, as sensitive people, as meditators, we are very we absorb the energies around us very easily. And a mantra can be one of the tools or devices that we use in order to protect the mind from any influences that we just simply don't want to be influenced by. So, that's one way that you can practically use a mantra out in the world. So let's say I want to take a walk through a busy shop. And let's say it's around the holidays, just as an example, when everyone's active, everyone's chaotic, everyone's rushing around to buy things or whatever. And you need to go in and you need to come out quickly, but you don't want to be influenced by all that chaotic energy. Well, reciting a mantra internally without audibly speaking it is a great way to keep the mind focused, because the mind is like a sponge. It absorbs the environment that we put it in. So it's very important to have these little what I call tricks and tips to use. It's like a tool belt. You've got many different practical tools at your disposal, and the mantra can be one of them. So, practical example of how we can use the mantra. Let's say we're going into a crowded shop. Now, obviously, this might not be perfectly applicable right now because everyone's on lockdown, but once everything reopens up, this is just one practical example of how we can use a mantra. Let's say we go into a busy shop and we don't want to be influenced by all that chaotic, active energy or stressful energy or negative energy. Depends on what kind of environment we're going into. One popular mantra is the mantra Om. Now the mantra Om can be spelled either O-M or A-U-M. And they both are very similar in that they can be both used in the same way, whatever you really prefer. Personally, I prefer to pronounce it with the A-U-M. So instead of pronouncing it like an O-M, which would be Om, we pronounce it A-U-M, which is more like Om. So it kind of starts with the A vowel. So internal reciting of the mantra, You're basically just repeating it in your mind just as you would repeat it out loud. So an example of repeating a mantra out loud would be something like this. And so on and so on. You get the idea. So if you wanted to repeat it internally, there's a number of things that you can do. You can crank up the speed. So let's say I'm not repeating it out loud. I'm repeating it in my mind. I can go something like that. Obviously, without it being audible, it's going on in my mind, kind of like this. Now I'm walking through the store, I'm repeating the mantra Om, and the idea is that it's giving my mind a safe haven. Again, mantra literally translates into mind protector, because it's a way to block out any sort of, influences from the environment that you may not want to absorb. Another popular mantra is, "Hey Ash, what's up, brother? And hope you're having a good day, my friend. Hope you had a good day. This is the end of the day for you guys over there." So another popular mantra is to include, along with Om, is Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. So it's Mani Padme Hum. 4 different words. And it roughly translates into, from Sanskrit, the jewel is in the center of the lotus, or enlightenment exists within all things. So they both kind of mean the same thing. If the jewel is in the center of the lotus, well, what is the lotus? The heart chakra. The chakras are lotuses, they're flowers. So when we focus on a chakra, and we go to probe its depths, we want to find the center of the chakra, the energy center, kind of like a flower or a lotus. Obviously, the lotus has much symbolic meaning. The lotus born in India and Asia. I guess the lotus flower is very prevalent over in those parts. So, I like to do the Om Mani Padme Hum, and it's spelled O-M M-A-N-I P-A-D-M-I or E-H-U-M. Om Mani Padme Hum. Now, there might be a slight variance in how you actually pronounce some of those vowels, but I don't think it really matters, because I love the Om Mani Padme Hum because it gives you a little bit more meat to chew on when you recite it. So let's say you're going into that same store, or you're going down this crowded area, or you're stuck in traffic and you just don't want to absorb that wave of negativity, of frustration, of anger or whatever. You can recite in your mind, and again, you can do this at varying speeds, which is why I love it, because we all work on different frequencies. Some of us a little slower than others, some of us like to be fast. So when you recite the Om Mani Padme Hum, it sounds a little something like this. I'll do it out loud first. So it'd be Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Some people say Om Mani Padme Hum. I like to keep the vowels long. It just feels better for me. Om Mani Padme Hum. So when you're doing this internally, in your mind, in your mind's ear, if you will, you can do it super fast. You can go Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, and then do it silently to yourself in your mind. Driving the car, walking into that busy store, looking around. And what this is a meditative device. Yes, it helps to keep your mind focused on a very powerful mantra, but it helps to keep the mind focused. It helps to, it's like you're walking around in a single pointed focus. Now you can go about your activities and you start to notice that the mantra is just kind of going on in the background. So this is one way to keep a focus when you're out and about, when you're active, when you're going out to a store, you're going out to a place, or maybe you're just in a meeting, or you're just somewhere where you don't want to absorb all the energy in the room. Perhaps the people, perhaps the environment, the area, you're driving in the wrong side of town, or whatever it might be. The mantra can be a very useful tool to repeat internally, in our mind, to listen to it in our mind's ear, as a way to practice concentration, as a way to enhance our mindfulness. But the mantra also has an application for meditation. So prior to sitting down to meditate, you could chant either Om or Om Mani Padme Hum to get the meditation juices flowing, to get the mind to become still. So before I sit down to meditate, I can begin with an external recitation of the mantra. So it'd be something like Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Now the way it works for meditation, prior to meditation, to kind of get you in the mood, is that the sound, the actual sound, you want to let the sound reverberate throughout your entire body, throughout your entire being, so that you're actually feeling the sound. Not just listening to it, but you want to do that as well. You want to listen and as well feel what the sound is doing to the body, because this particular mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, while it has a deep meaning, the jewel in the center of the lotus, or enlightenment is in all things, or roughly translated to something like that, it also has an effect on your subtle body. I talk about the subtle physical body all the time. I talk about the channels, the nadis, the meridians. Well, reciting that mantra out loud has an effect on your subtle body. It helps to get the energy flowing. It actually helps to awaken the energy flow within the nadis, within these channels. And there are a number of different energy channels. It's kind of like warming up before you work out. If you are a workout person, you know how important it is to warm up. If you were to just go right into the workout or right into the meditation, sure, you could do that. But if you can kind of bridge from your regular, normal, everyday, mundane mind state into the meditative state with some certain tools, like a mantra, like a yantra, you're just going to have a better experience. So there's your tip for the day, the mantra Om. You can also repeat just Om before the meditation. Om. Let's all try it together. So what I like to do when I repeat the mantra is to just utter the sound, to make the utterance. Allow the lips closing to do all the variants within the syllable. The mantra Om is known as the root syllable. The root syllable. And Om, again, also chanted out loud, has a very powerful awakening ability on the subtle body to get the energy flowing. So it should sound like a bell being rung, like dong. So what I like to do is when I'm doing the mantra Om, I prefer the A-U-M translation. So all I'll do is a vowel sound of ah. And then I let my lips close, and that makes the sound change. Something like this. So I'm not really forcibly making any sort of change within the vowel. All I'm doing is making the utterance of the ah or the O, whatever you prefer, whether it's OM or AUM, and just allowing my lips to close. And when they close, you feel this subtle vibration kind of transfer out to your entire being. So it's super cool. So we're going to get started with the meditation, and we're going to kick it off with a little bit of mantra work. Everybody follow along. So normally when we don't have music, the mantra is a great way to kind of get focused. Let's say you don't have your yantra. Let's say you're just out in nature and you want to kind of warm up into the meditation. Well, one way you can do it is by reciting the mantra out loud, whether it's Om or whether it's Om Mani Padme Hum, whatever your preferred mantra. There's many different mantras out there. You can kind of look up different ones on the internet, on YouTube or whatever. And, different mantras have different meanings. Some evoke certain deities. Some were given by some famous, very powerful gurus over in ancient times. And people do the mantra to evoke that particular guru or that particular deity, however you want to pronounce that. And so I'm not so much into that personally. If you have a particular guru, like Padmasambhava has like Dojo Renge Keyo. I'm not even sure that's the right one, but you'll hear these different versions. There's one for Ganesh. There's one for a lot of different of the Hindu gods, etc., etc. But the Om Mani Padme Hum is fairly universal in that it's not evoking a particular deity. It just has sort of this this meaning that enlightenment is in all things, or the jewel in the center of the lotus, which is ideally the same thing. All right, so today I would just like to start off with the mantra Om, pronounced A-U-M, before we get started with the meditation. So one way to do this is to recite the mantra out loud and then slowly quiet the mantra until it becomes an internal reciting of the mantra. So you'll begin, I'll do it briefly in a sped up way. I'll start out like Om, 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 and then I'll keep reciting it in my mind's ear. And that's sort of a way to bring the external into the internal focus. Again, it's a great way to calm down the mind, to bridge into your meditation practice. Obviously, I don't do it that fast, but let's give it a try. It's going to sound kind of like a bell being rung. Bong. And if you follow the sound with your awareness, you're using a single pointed focus. You want to follow the sound as it disappears into nothingness. That's kind of why they use bells. It's because the bell is struck and you hear it, and then it slowly dissipates into silence. And if you follow sound into silence, your mind will be drawn into silence. Aha. All right. So let's get this thing started today. Let's just do the mantra Om. Let's recite it 10 times. So, sitting up straight in your chair or on the ground, take a big deep breath. And after we do this, we'll jump right into the 5 steps to stillness. So, let's begin reciting that mantra. Here we go. Now you can do this with eyes open or closed. It's up to you. Very nice. Now I'm actually reciting the mantra while focusing on the yantra. And you can give yourself a little visual focus while you're reciting the mantra. And let's get started. Continue to focus on the yantra. Single pointed mind. If you've been here before, you know what to do. If you're new to this process, you can find a yantra at the top of the group in the announcements section. You can print one out, put it up on your wall. And let's begin by focusing on that central dot. Breathe naturally. Try to be very still. Now we're moving on to step 2. Close the eyes gently. Take the finger and place it on the navel chakra, about an inch or 2 below the belly button. Press gently into that spot. Breathe naturally. Focus on the feeling of the finger pressing into that spot, about an inch below the navel. Try to forget about everything else. The only thing that exists right now is that navel chakra feeling. Once you've locked on to that spot with your attention, with your awareness, feel free to remove the finger and keep a steady concentration on the navel chakra. Feel the spot. When thoughts come in and out of the mind, if you get distracted, simply return your attention back to the navel chakra. Don't think, feel. Step 3. Move your awareness up to the heart chakra. Gently place the fingers in the center of the chest and press. Feel the slight pressure of the fingertips pressing into the center of the chest. Use that feeling as a point for your attention to move to and hold on. Breathe naturally. Relax any energetic tension or contractions that you might feel. Open up any blocks. Try to remain as still as you possibly can while holding your attention on feeling the heart chakra. Once you've locked in, remove the fingers and feel that spot. Step 4, move your attention up to the third eye chakra. Between your eyebrows and slightly above, Gently place the fingertip. Feel the slight pressure of the fingertip on the forehead. Lock on to that feeling. Try your best to hold on to that feeling and remove the finger. Feel that spot. Step 5. Surrender to the stillness. Let go of all concentration and focus. Remain still and merge with consciousness. Slowly come back to your body. And before you rush right back into your regular activities, take a moment to observe the changes in your perception, in the way you feel. Observe the increased clarity, stillness, peace. That you may be feeling right now. It's important to not just rush right back into our regular activities and try to maintain this state of equilibrium for as long as we can. Ideally, to maintain it throughout the entire day. And this is what mindfulness is. Without meditation, training, and practicing the meditative state, mindfulness can be very challenging. We must first raise the consciousness level, raise our frequency, become still, so that we have a reference for what mindfulness is. Mindfulness is merely the practice of maintaining the meditative state throughout the day. When your chakras open up, they become very powerful doorways. They become very powerful means of receiving and transmitting energies. Our subtle body, our energy body, becomes a body of bliss. Over time and practice, it becomes strong and resilient. And this is why it can ward off and repel negativity. So we're in a meditative state, we're in a state of equilibrium, we're in a state of flow. So how do we maintain it? By being detached from outcome, by being detached from expectation, by engaging in our daily activities without thinking, just doing. You're folding your laundry, and you're engaged in the task. You're feeling the clothes, you're observing what you're doing with your eyes. You're fully engaged in the task at hand, as opposed to thinking about something else or thinking about the next moment. You're being in the moment. The presence. So, there you go, my friends. Hey Renja, how you doing, my friend? Good to have you on, good to see you. Aleem, good to have you on, brother. So, anyway, short one for you today, folks. I wish I could stay on and chat longer. I gotta go mow the lawn. And, you know, the grass is getting tall. So I will leave you with that today, my friends. And again, thank you so much for joining me. We've only got a few more days left to raise our frequency here. The 30 days will be up in just a few days. But never fret, don't worry. I will be continuing on with this journey in a private Facebook group for those of you who want to take this meditation practice of the 5 steps to stillness, the single-pointed mind, to the next level. It will be a group coaching program, a community of meditators that I'll call Concentration to Consciousness. That kind of sums up what we're doing here. We're coming into consciousness. We're merging with consciousness through the means of concentration and meditation. And we will continue with this practice on a much deeper level. There'll be weekly group conference calls with Zoom. I might even come on a daily basis and do a meditation very similar to like I'm doing here. And it's going to be a monthly subscription program. It's only going to be $30 a month, which I feel is a very affordable cost, because I'm giving all my knowledge and experience to you guys, which is very valuable. So I'm making it as affordable as I can. And trust me, it's well worth $30 a month, the price of a tank of gas. And we'll get all the fuel we need to become expert meditators and to continue with the journey. So I'll be revealing more information. My idea is that it'll probably launch May 1st, just so I can have some more time to kind of set some things up. Private Facebook group for members, weekly group coaching calls with Zoom, so we can all participate, get all your questions answered, and we'll go deeper into the subject of concentration, the subject of chakras, the subject of Kundalini, because the chakras are a very deep subject. Renja asks, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Renja. Sometimes the J's are silent, so please correct me if I'm mispronouncing your name. The group name will be called Concentration to Consciousness. It will be a private Facebook group. Once you join, I'll give you the invite to the Facebook group. So again, I'll be giving out some more information shortly, and of course I'll be, I'm the admin of meditation and mindfulness, so I'll always be in this group as well, but probably not doing any more of these live meditations like I'm doing here. So I want to bring in as many people who are serious as possible. I'm not going to say there's going to be any limit to how many people come in, because, hey, if there's 10 people in the group, I'm cool with that. If there's 100 people in the group, I'm cool with that. But I want to make it something that is for people who are serious about taking this particular meditation technique to the next level. So we'll be learning how to do this meditation technique in silence, which I feel is a much deeper experience. We'll be using an app that I'll show you how to program to prompt you to each step in the 5 steps to stillness. And we'll be learning all kinds of really cool stuff. But the goal and the object is to remain motivated, remain inspired, which I feel is probably the #1 benefit to participating in communities like this. We can all share. We can all keep each other motivated and inspired. And, my job as the coach will be to make sure that you're meditating on a regular basis, hopefully every day. And I'm even thinking about implementing an individual one-on-one coaching program. Obviously, that's going to be more rigorous. It'll be slightly higher value, but it will ensure that you're meditating every day, similar to a diet coach and how they check in with their clients. And so that one-on-one coaching is to be determined, but the group coaching is something I will definitely be offering and giving more information out in the group here for you guys. So thanks again, my friends, And I appreciate you coming on here every day, walking through this technique with me, and I hope you're getting some benefit out of it. Okay? So take care. Again, if you have any questions, just drop me a comment below or feel free to message me right here on Facebook. We'll see you guys soon.